All right, here we are, guys. Rebirth is upon us. I'm super excited to finally do like an official YouTube playthrough of Final Fantasy VII. We've streamed it a bunch, and I was originally making a guide, like a super in-depth guide for this game a long time ago, and my computer died and I lost it all, and it was just really disappointing and disheartening. So it took me a while to come back around to even wanting to do YouTube stuff, but I think starting with this is a good idea. This is where my heart is, my favorite game of all time, and it's given me that excitement of making videos again, so we'll start here. This is Final Fantasy VII, and it is my most absolute favorite game of all time. If you've never played this, you're in for a treat. We are playing the Switch version. We will not be using any cheats or anything like that. We're gonna go through the game normal, and it should be a really good time. All right, let's get this thing going. Okay, we don't need to know any of this, but cool. Now, I've always wondered what this is. Is this that part of the live stream that we see Cloud in at the very end? Is this space? Is this like Genova peeking around? Like, what is this exactly? It's very interesting. It might be the part of the live stream. I think that's what it is, because it begins to fade into this live stream scene we see here with Aerith. Which I don't know. I never fully understood what this was, but I've always liked it. Very calming. Man, this intro still gets me. That music. I remember seeing this for the first time and seeing the detail in the cars, and I was just blown away. And then seeing the atmosphere of the city, like, wow. Wow. It never gets old. It literally never gets old. It still gives me goosebumps. Beautiful. They had a vision when they made this game. And this is where I think Final Fantasy VII succeeds over a lot of RPGs. It does not waste the time with an hour's worth of exposition and tutorials. We showed you a couple things, go. And I think that's why a lot of people take to this game as their first RPG, or was the first RPG that got them, into this style of gaming. I know for sure I had played other RPGs, wasn't really interested. Like, they were okay. This game changed it all for me. This game changed everything. And I'm gonna do just a little bit of customizing for myself. I have a way that I like to set my screen up. I'm sure that you guys all have your way of setting it up. Actually, I think I go black. Yeah. That's definitely what I do. There we go. Yeah! Now we're ready to go. Field message, fast. It's all pretty much set up for me already, interestingly enough. Normally that's not that high, but let's go through it. This first battle is nothing. This whole area is kind of a tutorial. It doesn't really tell you what to do so much as it's just easy enough for you to figure it out. Man, I remember the first time looking at Cloud and just being like, this is the perfect hero. This is like, because I grew up loving medieval stuff, but I also love futuristic and like, I like military stuff, and this game's art style just pulled all that together with that anime touch, and was just way too cool. You know, being a kid and watching Akira, you know, you get this like this huge mega industrial feeling to everything, and I was just blown away. This sword, I fell in love with the Buster Sword immediately, and I've never gone back. I've never gone back. I love Cloud's interaction with Avalanche. He's just not interested in what anyone is doing but himself. He's kind of a turd. Don't trust ya. I remember this dynamic between Cloud and Barret, and just fell in love with both of these characters at the very beginning. When me and my brother first played this together, we named the characters Goku and Piccolo because we love Dragon Ball, and yeah, we were so stoked when Barrett's first limit break was Big Shot, and it's not special beam cannon by any means, but it was still cool, like this big, you know, like energy blast type thing, and yeah, that was a good time. That was a good time. Man, but look at the designs. I don't know if you guys have played Remake or watched The Last Order, but I think they did a really good job of updating the look to the Shinra guards and the enemies while still staying faithful. And this right here, I think, is where the game really grabbed me. First time I heard this music, like, there's something about this song that really, I don't know, it's a song that's like mysterious and futuristic, and it makes you kind of ponder, but makes you feel uneasy, and I just loved it. I especially love this next part here in the song where the bell chimes come in. Like, wow. Maybe it's because it reminded me of a song from Batman. That may be what it was. I don't know. Whatever it was, this song really got me. I love how Barret starts his preaching. Cloud's just like, I don't care. I don't care. I just want my money. Now, the first thing we need to actually do, we're going to set Barret to the back row. He'll take a little less damage, but he will deal the same amount of damage because he's a ranged character. Most of you guys probably already know that, but in case you didn't, that's the reason behind it. Makes him a better tank. Oh man, that classic music never gets old. Just making our way down the steps. Now, when I was a kid, this game was a little bit harder because I didn't know exactly where I was going. So we got into a lot of random battles. We wasted a lot of potions and stuff like that. But once you've played the game once or twice, it actually is. It's a pretty easy RPG. I don't mind that. I'm very interested in finally getting around to playing the second threat mod at some point to see how they raise the difficulty and, you know, added cool new mechanics. But overall, like, if you're looking for an RPG to get into that's not gonna break your brain, this is a pretty good game to start with. I love how he jumps onto the ladder. I don't recommend you do that. Like, if you're jumping onto a ladder, you're doing it wrong. This is cool too, like, just from like an art perspective. The scene here, the perspective we're at, this awesome down shot where you're seeing the rest of the stuff you're going to was really cool. I hadn't seen too many stuff like this in the game before. Obviously, like, played Resident Evil, which had pre-rendered backgrounds, but this was really dynamic because you're seeing a lot of this stuff. Like, it's really, the background is really telling you just as much of a story as the rest of the game. You know, it's really leading your eye and showing you what it needs to as you're going through, which I just really respect. They really thought that through when they were designing these backgrounds. Yep, you gotta set it, Cloud. Now, the aesthetic here is changed quite a bit in Remake, which is pretty interesting. I definitely prefer the OG. It's a little more industrial, a little more, a little less clean, a little more grungy and gritty, which I really like. And that, to me, I never understood exactly what was going on at first, but man, does the game take that small little scene where Cloud's freaking out, and you don't really think of anything of it right now, but man, that becomes everything later. Becomes everything. All right, let's get to it. A healthy dose of bullets and electricity should be just what the doctor ordered. This fight isn't too bad. It guides you through pretty well. All you got to do is listen. But what a cool boss. Like, first of all, scorpions are cool. Second of all, robots are cool. Third of all, scorpion giant robots are just freaking awesome. Especially ones with guns and giant tails. Giant spear tails that shoot lasers. I love that cast animation. I'm sad that they got rid of that in Remake. I was kind of hoping, like, when Cloud would do his, like, big magic attack, you know, like third level magic, that he would go into that, he would flip the sword behind his back and shoot magic like that. I'm really sad that that wasn't in there, but I totally get why he shoots it with one hand. He keeps the sword in his hand. It makes more sense from a combat perspective. It really does. Now, I am going to hit here just to demonstrate. Cloud says, Barrett, be careful. You know, attack while its tail's up, and it's gonna counterattack with its laser. So if we whack it while the tail's up, we're gonna get blasted here. Which is fine, because we're just gonna add a potion to both characters. Well, it'll probably put us both in limit break. Well, it'll put Cloud in limit break, which is cool. We'll just wait out the time. You can hold square, and it will pass, which is pretty neat. They're carrying over the ATB that came with the Super Nintendo releases, which is super cool. And now we get our first limit break, which is dope. And anytime you activate a limit break, it will be the next attack, regardless. It always takes priority, which is super cool. Great little mechanic. And the Scorpion really should be dead this round. I don't think we'll make it to a second tail phase. He's probably gonna die within the next 2 or 3 attacks. I called it. There we go. Boom, what a cool boss. What a cool boss. That boss normally gets a lot of people, because like I said, they will attack while its tail's up. They'll not quite get the message, and and start hitting it, and then the tail laser will drain them before they can heal. And yeah, this first area is really just about kind of teaching you, like, hey, you know, hey, listen. And we are on a timer, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. We got a new weapon. We put it on Barrett, so he'll be able to take out most enemies in one shot. And we got Cloud with Bolt, so he'll be able to take out you know, the bigger machines. And we should get through this pretty quick. The encounter rate's not too bad, and these enemies are not that hard. But I always did like the design of the shock troopers, and they were really cool in the remake. They were actually super cool. A lot of people struggle bust against them at first until they figured out, you know, some of the counter mechanics and stuff like that. Ooh, and the back attack. How dare you? We will need to use some magic here, because Cloud will not be able to kill these guys from the back row in one hit. Nice. Got our first level. Leveling is going to be interesting, and I might do a little bit of grinding off stream between episodes to get limits and materia levels and things like that. Nobody wants to watch, you know, hours of just grinding. Or maybe some of you sickos do. I don't know. I don't mind it if I have a friend who's streaming and I can hang out with them on the stream, but in a video, it's not quite as appealing. Go, Jesse, go! Ooh. Barrett took out the back row with that long range. Oh, Cloud missing! What is up with that? Homie. Homie, don't play that. Not that we're really in any danger, like I said. This really is the tutorial area. They are taking it pretty easy on us. Excellent. I like that they dropped me the potions. That was nice of them. And into the elevator, no problem. I like how Jessie took the elevator without us. She was just like, the F, I'm out. I just saved her life, and she's just leaving us behind. That's pretty great. And that pretty much does it. I was surprised we didn't get any more random battles at the end. But if you don't pick Jessie up, you will not be able to proceed because she has the code for the door. You will get stuck and you will blow up inside of this thing, and it will be ultimate game over. Which they do give you a save point inside. My brother and I learned that the hard way, which was pretty funny. The first time we played this game, we're like, what the heck, man? Finally, we figured out to talk to her, and we got on with the game, but that was pretty funny. Boom. This poor guy. I like how he tells everyone to split up, but we're literally just gonna follow him. And the start of this music, like this game's music, just banger after banger. Bombing mission, fight theme, you know, intro prelude, yeah, this song, and then we go into another song right after this. Just brilliant music in this game all the way around. And we're gonna be nice to Aerith here. We're not gonna be too harsh. We're gonna get a flower because of canon. There we go, let's buy one. She doesn't put it in our vest though, like she does in Remake. That was a nice touch. I like running around with the flowers. You're cutting people up with a huge sword. That's great. I always like talking to this guy as he's reading the graffiti. Don't be fooled by Shinra. Avalanche doing their public service, spray painting stuff everywhere. Oh, we got guys on our tail, but you know what? We need some experience, right? We are hurting for that. No, we're not. We're not. I just like fighting. I love the music. I like taking these guys out. Why? Because this game is great. It really is a waste of time. You can ignore them and just run through this. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not gonna miss out on any items or anything like that. The XP, you can tell, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. And they are laying the fire down. I love this idea, like, when I first started playing this, of this guy with this massive sword just like taking on all these dudes with rifles. Like it was wild to me. I imagined him kind of like a Jedi, right? Like if I were watching this in real time, he'd be like blocking, dodging the bullets coming up and just like totally destroying him with this massive weapon. We are running out of options here. Attack from both sides. Now, that's not a huge problem here. Later in the game, this would be bad. This can be actually party ending. Because I think if you get hit in the back, you're also double close to the enemy. So not only do you take the back damage, but you take double damage from proximity. We'll go ahead and blast them just as a nice finale. Always love that spell. Super cool looking. Nowhere to go, buddy. I mean, really? Cloud could probably take them all. He probably could. But this scene was great. Just like, boom. Outsmarted them all. This is a great scene too. You get a little bit more from the Avalanche members, kind of giving their thoughts on what they think about Cloud, and you can tell Jesse's got a thing for him, and the other two guys think he's pretty cool. At least he's good at his job. And Barrett, you can tell Barrett's got some issues. Like, he doesn't like the fact that Cloud used to work for Shinra. He might be a little bit jealous that Cloud, is extremely powerful too, because it does kind of put a shadow on Barrett at this point, It might have a little bit of an inferiority complex. And I love the dynamic. These two guys don't get along, and how their relationship grows together is awesome. And they did such a good job at a particular part in Remake of showing you the point where they trust each other, where they've got each other's back, and I love that. But here, Barrett's just cussing up a storm and is pissed off, which is hilarious. Just please shut that door. Oh, thanks for wiping my face off. I appreciate that. Once again, the music just fits so perfectly. Like, the music is telling you a story. It's telling you a sad story. And you can tell, like, the people that are on the train, the condition the train is in, the colors that are used, that it's like a dystopian dream. It's like, this should be, you know, the greatest stuff. You know, this super advanced train, and yet you're left feeling like it's not as great as it should be. Let's see what these guys have to say. Now, talking about the security mode. Biggs wants to be famous. Jesse's gonna show us around. I always liked this scene with the monitor. I don't know why. Maybe it's because she talks about, like, how tall, how big Midgar really is. She says it's about 50 meters above the ground. I think they changed that to 150 in Remake. Just extended the size, which is a pretty good distance from the ground, you know? Talking about how, like, the sectors used to actually have names. Like, they used to be towns. But kind of like, and this is kind of the theme, like, the soul of Midgar is kind of destroyed, right? It's so corporatized to a point that everything is just a number, just a calculation, just steel walls. And the idea of what Midgar was supposed to represent for people has completely faded. It's not necessarily a symbol of growth and prosperity. It's more a symbol of a cage. I like how he's talking crap to Barrett behind his back in his sleep. That's pretty funny. And this part's pretty cool too. I always love how they start describing, like, that there's no day or night in the slums because it's completely blocked out, you know, by the floating plate on top. I always thought that was really neat, kind of like a Demolition Man style thing going on there. In my opinion, in Remake, they made the slums a little too bright. And maybe they did that so you weren't just playing 40 hours of just complete darkness. I could totally understand that reasoning. But I really love the atmosphere that this game puts on the slums. It is very dark. It is very kind of hopeless. And it really has an impact when you're playing through this game. And that is so cool right there. You're getting to see the scope, like, man, it's this giant central pillar and all these little areas and towns underneath. Very cool. I really love, I know that the graphics are not the most detailed thing in the world, and it's very early. It's the first 3D RPG on consoles, and the technology is very early. They're still trying to imitate the chibi characters from the first 6 games, and a lot of things don't gel well together. It doesn't age super well, but what I do love is how animated they did try to make all the characters. Everybody is moving in a way that very much tells you kind of how they're thinking and feeling, what they're doing, without being able to see necessarily like these super high rendered graphics, you know, on everyone's face. And with that, guys, we'll end the first episode there. You know, we covered the bombing mission. We will do chapter 2 tomorrow. We will do at least the second reactor, but probably more. We'll probably go with Aerith into the slums and stuff like that. But if you enjoy the playthrough, you know, throw down a like. That just lets me know that people want to see the next episode. And if that's the case, we'll keep going. I never get tired of playing Final Fantasy VII, and if there's fans out there, I would love to continue playing with you guys, and getting your opinions on the chapters, what you thought, what you felt when you first played it, what you think of the game, and just have a cool dialogue about this game that I love so much. All right, guys, I'll see you later.